Hi everyone, today we're going to review the flagship original bottle of this very special distillery that I've wanted to review for some time. We're going to review Uncle Nearest 1856 Premium Whiskey 100 proof. This is not a bottled and bond, it is 100 proof. If you watched my previous videos, because I did a couple of these, I had reviewed this Uncle Nearest single barrel. You'll see it's kind of a little bit of the ways down, but we wanted to save a little bit to compare to this. That'll be for a separate video. But right now, I want to talk about this one. This is the flagship, the very first expression from this brand, around 2017. Before we go on, I did a very extensive video about the story of Nearest Green and the story of what led to the founding of this very special distillery. I welcome you to watch it. It's one of my 3-pin videos, so go to my pin videos right at the top and you will see the story and listen to the story of Nearest Green. But just really to encapsulate it, Nearest Green is the first black master distiller who perfected the Lincoln County process in Tennessee, which is the filtering of whiskey through sugar maple charcoal/charcoal filtering. He's also the man who taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey. That basically is the encapsulated version. And honestly, before 2016, when there was a New York Times article written about this, nobody really even knew this. So there's a lot in that video. I definitely encourage you to watch that, and it'll tell you all about this because I did some real extensive research, and honestly, it's fascinating. The story of Nearest Green and the story of the Lincoln County process and the story of mentoring Jack Daniels. Definitely watch it when you have a chance. As far as this whiskey, this is Uncle Nearest 1856. So again, this is their first expression. The other one that followed was the 1884. The significance of 1856 is that is the year that Nearest Green perfected the Lincoln County process. And as you know, that process is very, very much a part of Tennessee whiskey, certainly known with Jack Daniels and other Tennessee whiskeys. But this is a blend, supposedly, of 8 to 14-year-old barrels, but definitely at least 4 years old, but I've read it could be in that range as well. The deal is this is distilled and aged in Tennessee. It says that, distilled and aged in Tennessee, but then says bottled by Nearest Green Distillery, Shelbyville, Tennessee. So, obviously, some or certainly a part of this whiskey, or majority of it, is sourced. I'm not sure if there's a portion of it that's distilled there, but it definitely does not say that on the bottle. So we'll call that, a source whiskey, at least for the most part, and it is a blend of these different whiskeys. The master distiller is Victoria Edie Butler. Her name is right here on the bottle. She is the great-great-granddaughter of Nearest Green. Fascinating story. Again, definitely, the story is just fascinating, and I really enjoyed putting that video together to tell the story of Nearest Green. And the CEO is Fawn Weaver, who is the one who established this brand after reading that New York Times article and doing all this research and uncovering all this information that the world never knew about this great man, Nearest Green. So what we're going to do is I'm going to crack this open. We're going to see what this tastes like. And then in a separate video, I'm actually going to be very interested to compare to what's left here because this is 122 proof. This is 100 proof. So it's in the proof. I'm not going to do it as a blind, but I am curious to see. This is a single barrel. This is a blend. I found this is very heavy in the charcoal maple. There's a very heavy prominence of that charcoal maple effect. Definitely I think it has a very heavy influence on that. I want to see how this as a blend, how that charcoal mapling has affected this. I want to see if that's just heavy on the single barrel. Is just something that's in the regular blend. We'll go from there. First, let's crack this open. I've heard a lot of great things about this. Let's go. And you can see the front of this bottle. It says the name, V. Edie Butler, Master Distiller, and it says, in quotes, "This is the first expression honoring my great-great-grandfather, and I believe we have made him proud with our award-winning whiskey." And on the back, quickly, it says, "Remarkably smooth and aged to perfection. This best-in-class whiskey honors Tennessee's premier master distiller and teacher, Nearest Green. Known to his friends and family as Uncle Nearest, his whiskey was prized for its refined character, resulting from the distinctive maple charcoal filtering process that he helped perfect over 160 years ago. Awarded Best American Whiskey and World's Best, his legacy of excellence lives on in every bottle." Okay, so we got this poured up. Really, really nice color there. I want to just get a nose, and I want to kind of, again, in my head, I'm going to do this straight up together in a separate video, but in my head, I have the single barrel in mind, different proof, but I'm trying to see if some of the aroma and ultimately the palate is similar, and to what extent that charcoal mapling comes into play. Very nice nose, getting a little of that caramel and maple on the nose. Let's give this a taste. Cheers. Very similar, very similar. A little less proof, obviously, with the 100 proof versus 122. This is very, very nice. Again, you're definitely getting, I can definitely tell there is definitely an influence from the charcoal mellowing, charcoal filtering, whatever you want to call it. Maple, definitely the effect of the charcoal. It is, not going to use the word smooth, but that's ultimately what it is supposed to do. But definitely a charcoal, caramel, maple, bold, full flavor. I feel that the single barrel actually, and I'm gonna, when I put them side by side, but I feel it's every bit of this, just a little amped up and proof, but by no means is the 100 proof weak. I haven't tried the 1884, is a little lower. That's a small batch. Supposedly there's less barrels using that than the regular blend. It's 93 proof. I kind of wanted to start with this as far as the two of them to get, this is the original expression and it's 100 proof. This is very, very good. Nice thick legs on the glass. But definitely this charcoal mapling process, charcoal mellowing, excuse me, definitely has a clear influence. So basically, in the next video, I'd like to just kind of put these two side by side. And in a future video, this 122 proof will probably be long gone, but I'm thinking that I'd like to do this 100 proof 1856 against the Jack Daniel's Bonded. Both 100 proof, and kind of want to see the influence of the charcoal mellowing process on both. Because it definitely, I know it has an influence in Jack Daniel's, and it definitely has an influence here. It'd be interesting to put those two together, and also that one. So this is definitely a good one. Everyone who has said this is excellent, they're right. And just in closing, the only thing that I have kind of said in a previous video is that I started with the single barrel 122 proof, and then worked my way down to the base expression. I think generally, you know, obviously I like the higher proof for myself, usually to start with, and I don't always go in that order, but ideally, I think if you can, sometimes it's better to try the base expressions first and then go to like the single barrel, because obviously this is a blend, that's one barrel, this is many, and it's usually, if you can do it, it's kind of like, see how, you know, basically this compares to their base expression. But in any event, I mean, there's no one way to do it. I happen to kind of say I never had anything from Uncle Nearest, went right to the single barrel. You could do it any way you want. I'm just saying, basically, sometimes you get a feel for what their base expression is, and then you see a single barrel, because with a single barrel, each one could be different. This one could be different from another single barrel. Every barrel is different, whereas the blend supposedly, you know, is going to be consistent between each of these bottles. That's how that works. So in any event, we'll compare the two next. Future video, we'll do it against the Bonded, but this is a great bottle. No doubts on that. And even more importantly, this is a really great story behind this distillery and behind this great man. Cheers. Take care. Thanks for watching.